G'day guys, it's John from theproductivegarden.com, and today we're looking at organising your garden shed. Now what I'm doing today is basically organising things so all my tools like shovels and rakes and picks or mattocks, those sorts of things, axes, block splitters, whippersnippers or weed trimmers, whatever you would like to call them, that they're all hung up against the wall of the shed. It's where they take up as little room as possible rather than standing against the side of the shed where they angle out and take up a whole lot more room. Now the things you'll need is you'll need a whole lot of brackets like this. These things will hold up your shovels and picks or mattocks, rakes, axes and those sorts of things. For things like your weed trimmers or whippersnippers, those sorts of things, you'll need a slightly bigger bracket. So this is long enough to be able to take the motor of the whippersnipper. The other thing you'll need is some smaller hooks. These hooks will take your little hand tools and hand spades and little hand rakes and those sorts of things. So they're the things you need, and obviously you'll need some timber to fix them to, or if you're going to, you might be able to fix them directly to the side of the shed. But I think it's easier just to get a bit of timber, fix them to that, and then fix that timber to the wall of the shed. Okay, so let's have a look at how we're going to do it. Okay, now what you want to do this is you want to choose a piece of timber, something like 2x4 or something like that is the sort of stuff you'll need, and space out your tools with the brackets that are going to hold them along that piece of timber, so you can see how far you can space them apart so they fit in comfortably, and try to space them so that you use the timber as effectively as possible. We're trying to save space here, not space them out too much. Okay, and what I've done here is I've grouped the tools together so you'll have one type of tool in one section. Just makes it easier to know where things are, just looks a little bit neater. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do is to screw those brackets to the timber. Okay, so once you've decided where you want them to go, you want to make sure that one of the brackets at the end is where it's going to be so that you can screw that bracket to the wood. So we'll screw that bracket on. Okay, and just check to make sure that the tool fits in nicely, and that fits in just well. Okay, now what we need to do is to get the second bracket in place. Okay, so if we get the second bracket in place, move this up a bit so you can see me. Okay, so leave that tool there so you can see where it goes. Get the second bracket in place. Okay, get it where you want it, and then just hold it still while you remove the tool, and then screw that bracket in place. Just make sure that you keep them straight as you go. Okay, and just continue that along for the rest of the tools. Okay, there we've got all the hooks in place with the tools where they'll go, so we'll have a look at that. So you can see there, tools in place on the various bits of wood with hooks in place. So now what we have to do, I've left a space on this one because I had the room to leave it, and if we have something else in the future I can always put some extra appropriate hooks there for whatever they are. So now, to fix them inside the shed, let's go and do that. Okay, the first set of brackets we're going to put up is this one with the shovels and rakes and the broom on it. What we need to do first is to drill 2 holes through the bit of wood so that bolts can go through. and then we'll put the bit of wood up and make sure it's level, and then drill the holes through the wall in the shed, and then put the bolts on. Okay, so when you place the brackets, what you want to make sure is that whatever's going to be the highest above the bracket, like this rake, can fit in and that you can easily get it out. And that whatever's going to be the lowest below the brackets is going to fit in when it's hanging in there. So we've got these placed here now. What you need to do now is just roughly mark that height. Okay, so we'll mark that, then we'll take those tools off. Using the 2 holes we've already drilled in the wood, we'll drill through the shed and then we'll get the brackets fixed to the wall. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, to make it easy for me to drill the second hole, I'm going to put the bolt through here. I'm not going to do it up, I'm just going to let it sit there. Then I can get my level and level this hole up. Now, this bit of wood, the way it is, the level shows it's level. It looks terribly out, but that's because the roof in this shed isn't level, so it does look a long way out. Right, now we can get the second bolt in. Right, now we'll go out and we'll put the nuts onto those bolts. Okay, and then we'll repeat the same thing for all the other brackets and then we'll be able to hang them up. Right there, so we've got everything bolted on and all the tools hanging on the brackets. So let's go and have a look. Okay, so now the shed's gone from this crowded mess to a much more organised and a much more spacious garden shed with all the tools hanging up. So there you go. I spent about, probably wouldn't be any more than $40 on brackets and stuff. All the bolts and wood and stuff was just scrap wood and bolts that I already had at home. So that's it. Alright, so that's my garden shed all tidied up. I'm very happy with the result. It's turned what was often a very cluttered mess to something that I didn't really like having to come into something that's nice and organised and got plenty of space. And we've even got a chicken there. She's got a little baby chicken underneath her. She's obviously happy with the thing as well, even if she's not happy with me being in here. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching and happy productive gardening. Bye.